It's crippling.
It's exhausting.
It's debilitating. You don't want to do the things you love doing.
I've had friends struggle with it.
I've had family who suffer from it.
I've lost family and friends to it.
Anxiety and depression are part of an invisible illness,
affecting kids and teenagers in high school in Philadelphia.
And if it's doing that here,
what is it doing to kids and teenagers everywhere else?
It is here. Anxiety and depression and mental illness exist everywhere.
I've seen it happen firsthand. I mean, with the people who are closest to me, I've seen it completely ruin people. And I know it's really, really real. No matter if you think it's just something that it's a mindset or something that you can just work through, it's really real. It's just as if it's a disease. It's a disease of the mind, and it's something that a lot of times you need help for.
It's not something that you can just get rid of. It's not like a cold that you just take medicine for and you're fine the next day.
And you have no idea what they're dealing with. You just really don't, because a lot of times it doesn't manifest itself physically.
I mean, someone who's really, really close to me, I've seen them sit down and just try to enjoy a day, and they just can't stop crying. And it's hours, hours and hours and hours of just crying.
It wasn't like fun, because I didn't want to, I hated playing hockey. I mean, it was fun hanging out with everybody, but I just didn't want to, the things I loved, I just didn't love them anymore. I didn't want to come out, I just wanted to sit at home in my room. Like, I went to school, I just didn't care about the work, my grades dropped. You just feel like really, really low. Like, you just feel like you have no help.
I was active in both my academics and extracurriculars, but I couldn't smile genuinely. I wasn't bright, I wasn't happy, I wasn't as outgoing as I know that I can be, and I didn't know why. I knew that there was something wrong, I knew that I wasn't myself, but I couldn't figure out what it was.
I've seen anxiety in myself in the form of maybe a panic attack for something dumb, or maybe I've had panic attacks about something big, something important. I've seen depression with friends. I've heard stories. I've heard stories of self-harm and people turning to other means to just try to escape from that depression.
It's one of those things that no matter how hard you want to help and no matter what you do, it's just not enough. And when you see that happen and when you witness that happen, it can really, really hurt you. It can really just, watching someone crumble in front of you. I've seen people who are really, really close to me just be unable to function with basic tasks. I mean, getting out of bed, putting on clothes, taking a shower, brushing your teeth. It's just unable to do these things. And it's so hard. It's so hard to watch. It's just so hard to sit down and try as hard as you can. You do everything you possibly can for this person, and no matter what, it's just not enough.
Because there's a terrible stigma about mental health, about going to ask someone for help. It's seen as difficult, it's seen as embarrassing.
What I've learned from Michael's Giving Hand is we need to start the conversation on mental health, and that it is an issue in our society, and we need to talk with our peers about it.
Organizations like Michael's Giving Hand are so important because they are coming into schools and they are helping educate people about themselves, really, and about their own mental illnesses and about signs that maybe they didn't realize were a sign until they see it coming from organizations like this.
If you're struggling with anxiety, depression, you gotta get help. So, before it takes one time, you gotta get help before it's too late. Talk about it. Don't be embarrassed. Always try to get help. Talk to anybody that'll listen.
When people are depressed, they really think that they don't really have anybody there for them. So I think about being there for them is the biggest thing, because it means a lot to them and what they're going through.
We do open up more about it and we start talking about it, then it might get better.
Just because you don't feel comfortable talking to your parents about anxiety and depression doesn't mean that they're bad parents, doesn't mean that you don't trust them. Maybe it just means that it's easier for you to talk to someone that's like a third party person, someone that doesn't look at you and say, and kind of, that maybe you don't feel like you're disappointing.
With the help of others, with the help of therapists, with family members, I think it could be overcome. It is definitely a struggle, without a doubt, but I think with the support of others, it can be overcome. You're never alone, that's for sure.
Be the person that could help stop it.
I think a text message or a phone call can make a difference in whether or not the person standing next to you is here tomorrow.
It's a process. Like, we all wish that we could just fix it in a day or a week, but like the sad thing is, it could take months.
With Michael's Giving Hand, others feel comfortable talking about depression and anxiety if they know that they're not alone. You know, everybody can say that you're not alone, but actions speak louder than words. And I think this project, I think the foundation itself is really, really speaking to that. And I really appreciate it in every single way.
The challenges I face, for everything that goes on with me, for no matter how, those days where you just can't get out of bed, I'm thankful for that. Because the second you can get out of bed and you can go outside, you see life for this incredibly beautiful thing. Because you've been in that dark place, you've been down that hole, you've been in the worst of the worst of the worst, and you made it out, and you got past it, and you can finally see life for what it is. Life is what you make of it. And I think that the second you get help, you can see more of life and how actually beautiful it is. But if you don't get help, you'll never experience it firsthand of how incredibly awesome this life can be. Because life is what you make of it.